Hello, Keller Williams Associates. This is Samuel again, and today we're going to be covering how to create a green sheet. We've gotten quite a few questions over the different settings and amounts to enter into a green sheet, so today we're going to go step by step and walk through from the beginning to the end of how to correctly create a green sheet. First thing you'll want to do is go to kw.com, scroll to the very bottom, and log in using your KW username and password. Once there, you'll want to navigate to your My Transactions homepage by clicking Messages. We are going to create a test loop. Actually, we're going to go ahead and search for one that's already created. 123 Any Street. And once we're in this, we're going to notice that we can select Edit Details under the name of the loop. When we hit Edit Details, we'll be able to enter in information that will automatically populate in templates within this loop, such as address, zip code, county, and other pieces of information. We'll scroll to the very bottom and we'll select Submit Green Sheet in the bottom left hand corner. When we do this, you'll probably get a security warning and you'll just hit Continue. And then what will happen is some of the information from your loop will automatically populate the green sheet. One thing we want to do is, if we're ever going to leave a green sheet part way completed, we always want to click the black button for Save for Later. That way what you have entered will be saved. So we'll go ahead and enter in the contract date and our estimated close date. This is a common question. It's okay if the close date is different. We just need an estimate. The type of transaction, it's already saying that it's a buyer side. A common thing here would be to select both listing and sale if both sides are represented by a Keller Williams Advantage agent. And the listing agent should submit the green sheet for both the listing commission and the buyer commission. For this example, we'll hit buyer sale. Class, we'll do a property, and then property type we'll select as a resale. Here we ask that you just fill out the information that's highlighted in red. Anything else is not required by the office. Once we click all the required information, we can do next section and sales price. And this is a common, again, a common area that gets or is plagued with sometimes faults or issues that agents can't get past. Let's say we're selling a $150,000 home. We'll enter that without any symbols or anything. We'll just enter the numbers. And let's say we don't have a straight percentage, but maybe we've agreed to a less than 3% amount. We would, if it's a flat amount, we would want to click flat and then actually type in the dollar amount. If it's percentage, we can just enter the percent, not the dollar amount. And once you do that, you should see the dollar amount listed here. And I know there's no dollar symbol and nothing to say sales commission dollars, but this is what that is. Under buyer section, we'll just put their last name. And under seller, we'll put their last name as well. Now under agent detail, and this is probably the hardest part, the first thing I like to point out is the small magnifying glass under agent A, B, and C. This is how you would add a second person. For this example, we'll pretend that I am closing a deal with my wife, and I've simply entered her last name and hit search, and then I can click her name and click select. That will add her to the green sheet. And then we have to go through and add agent role, type, agency to each agent. So we'll say I'm a lead agent. Most people are. Then we'll do type, that it was a sale. It's almost always a sale. And then with agency, and going back to type, inside would be if someone is getting maybe a tip, but they were not part of, that they didn't actually help you sell that home. It's very, very uncommon. If you're at all confused, go ahead and just do sale. And for this example, we're going to say that I'm receiving 50% of the commission and Michelle is also receiving 50% of the commission. How we do that is by using sales unit. There's 1 unit per side of each transaction, so 2 units per address or per closing. So our agency only represented the buyer side in this example, but yet we're splitting it 50-50. So I'm going to put 0.5 and 0.5. Once you do this, you'll notice that written volume gets split as well as the gross commission. This field can be overwritten, but it should automatically calculate. And up on agency, we need to select that we are actually the buyer agency. If you get to this point and it says seller agency, we'll know that back up in section 1 we selected the wrong type of transaction. So now that we're in gross commission, let's, for this example, say that I have a 15% referral to an outside brokerage. I could put that referral in as a number, and then it's going to remind me, put in the outside referral information. And this is really important for the office because we have to have this information to send a check to them. So we'll hit OK, and then you'll see the dollar amount automatically calculates. And you can do just the dollar amount if it's a flat dollar referral amount. Usually it's a percentage. For this example, we'll say that we actually there's no concessions or anything. That's very rare. And then under the subtotal is really the commission before the split. And a lot of people have this question, which is, do we split with MC or 100% to agent? And this Greensheet is built to help agents in all 50 states, and we don't really use this feature, so we just always want to leave it on 100% to agent. It doesn't mean that it's going to inaccurately tell you that you've capped. That happens on agent commission split. So let's say Michelle was capped. I could actually put in 100% right here to then generate that 100% going to the agent. So just to recap, the split always stays on the default, and here is where we decide how much commission is going to the brokerage and how much is going to the agent. At this point, we're asked if we're capped on royalty. I'm going to say that I am not, and just for this example, we're going to say that Michelle is. And then you can see how that dollar amount zeroes out. So now we can kind of see the amount that is being deducted or calculated along the way. Here in the red section, we're going to always need to enter a dollar amount. We're going to say $5 and $5. And a great thing about this is if you guys have a set amount like $5 or $10 or even $1 that you'd like to give every transaction, I can put this into the system so even if you forget here, it will always remember it when we go to close the file. KW Cares is tax deductible, but the other two fields are not. We're going to hit 0 and 0, 0 and 0. Once we do that, we should scroll through. There shouldn't be any other deductions on here. In Ohio, we don't really use most of these fields. This number, net agent check, should balance with what you're believing that your check should say when it's either deposited into your bank account or written out to you. Here is another really important part we need to remember. We have to have the tax ID of that outside referral company. To obtain this during the transaction, ask the referring company to please send you a W-9 by their brokerage, not the individual agent, but their agency or their brokerage. That will have all the information that you need to fill out this section. Also, please put your W-9 of your referral into the loop for record keeping. We'll click next section, and then this is a great part right here, co-broker. We're actually rolling out a couple new ways to get this information to us. But if you have a great agent and you would really think that this would be a great person to sponsor, go ahead and put a little note in here, and the office staff is actually reviewing these and will try to follow up with you, and then try to reach out and set an appointment with the co-op agent. None of this information is required, and you shouldn't waste any time filling it out. And please send us an email if there's anything notes-wise, just because these notes aren't actually carried over, unfortunately. So if you have something odd about the Greensheet, just send us an email through your .loop or through email, and let us help you directly with that. Once you're done, we'll hit Submit to MCA, and then you must hit Submit Greensheet one more time. And now you'll see right here, partially accepted compliance. Once this is done, you're good to go. Congratulations on doing Greensheets, and please feel free to reach out to the office, contact myself or Darren with any questions. Thank you. Have a great day.